Awesome. Okay, so who I have here today, I have the pleasure of one of my students, Ateesh Chad. Please share with us a little bit about you, your background.
Sure, yeah. So my name is Ateesh Chand. I live in Vancouver, British Columbia. So it was about 40 years ago, about a month ago, 40 years and a month ago, I moved from Fiji to Vancouver. And I've lived here most of my life. I did a stint in Toronto for 5 years, so don't hold it against me. But I'm a proud father of three children. I have two teenagers and a beautiful, handsome 16-month-old. I have an amazing wife. Her and I have been together now for 17 years. And well, we've been together for 27. I've been married for 17. So, it's
Wow.
good. Let's call that. I am an entrepreneur. I'm also a realtor in this particular market. So very lucky to A, be part of the program, and B, to have you as my coach.
Thank you. Thank you. So tell us a little bit about how your life was like before the mentorship, before you and I started working together.
Ooh. Um, yeah, I was really reflecting on that question. And I think the answer that, like, let's just be brutally honest, I was living paycheck to paycheck. I was living deal to deal, so to speak. I was in corporate sales for a while. I made some very good money, but as you make that type of money, because you don't have the mindset to be able to make more money or know what to do with the money, you start living paycheck to paycheck, right? And we were. I was, for the longest time, I was in sales. I've been in everything from retail sales to corporate sales, dealing with enterprises for almost 20 years. And whether I made 60 or 70,000 a year, or 150,000 a year, I was still living paycheck to paycheck. It was difficult. Let's put it that way. And I don't know how anybody else is going to feel about this, but we all make decisions in life based on what's in our bank account, right? And when that bank account looks good, decisions are easier, faster, simpler,
Mm,
right? But when it's not good, it's a little bit tougher. You
right.
have to think it through more often. And really, what you're not doing is thinking. You're rationalizing excuses on why not to do the thing that you want to do,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right. Absolutely.
So we're getting deeper out of the dating.
Yeah, right. Oh man. So with that said, Atish, so what were some of your biggest like awarenesses that you've learned during this mentorship?
Yeah, I think so. If I was to pinpoint one, just one, simply is the information I am putting into my mind every single day, right? Be it, if it's an advertisement as I drive by a billboard, or, I'm watching TV, which I don't do all that often, but on occasion when we do, we see an advertisement of something, or we read, I'm on the road a lot. And so I read signs on people's vehicles as I go by, right? And that's all information that's coming into my brain and into my mind. And I've learned to really be very discerning about what's in there, right? I want to be in control of that one thing. And we all think we don't have control over it, but we do, right? We just choose not to take any action towards it, right? And so for me, my largest awareness is the information that I put in. And we've talked about in the program where when you see something or there's information that's coming to you, you have a split second to make the decision to keep or let go, right? And many times I let a lot of stuff go. It just doesn't make any sense for me to hold on to it because it doesn't serve my purpose. It doesn't serve my objective. It's not moving me towards my goal, right? And if it's not moving me towards my goal, then it's not great. It's not good. It's not acceptable.
Yeah. How empowering is that to be able to say that I control my life rather than letting outside circumstances controlling me?
Well, I mean, for me, um, it's probably been the most fun. Let's call it that, right? Which is, I am like constantly like, okay, you know what? I like that. Cool. Let's do that, right? I like that item. I want to be able to buy it. Let's do it, right? It's that ability to be able to make that decision and say it's the right decision. I go back to the original comment, which is we make decisions based on what's in our bank account, but we also are making quicker decisions when you have that much empowerment. You just make the decision, you say, okay, let's move on. Or no, you know what? It's not a decision that's worth even contending, so let's just put it aside, right? And we're going to reject it and move on, right? And your speed of life changes, right? I know it sounds really weird. This is probably a weird thing to say, but the decisions that you make, the faster you make them, because you make so many decisions as it is, which is, the breakfast that you eat, the way that you brush your teeth, which leg you put on when you put your pants on, all of that stuff, right? Those are all innate decisions we think that we make. But when you get to new decisions on things that you want, the faster you can make those, the easier, the more time and space you have to be able to create more things in your life.
Yeah, so good. Wow. Just the fact that you're able to articulate that, Atish, I know that you actually not only understand the concept, but you're actually living it, right? You're living proof of the
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, action's everything, right? We talk about, action is everything. And it doesn't have to be, I think what a lot of, coaches and mentors and stuff like that will tell you, you've got to take action, but you've got to we talk about inspired action. I love inspired action because I'm not as busy doing busy work.
Mhm.
I'm actually doing work that would yield towards my goal. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all I wanted to do. Right.
Yeah, yeah. So let's talk about that. So, what's happened since our mentorship, and what have you manifested? I know, we can talk about that for a long time, but one of the few biggest things that you manifested, physically, material things as well as non-physical things.
Yeah. Okay. So let's get to physical, which is the easy stuff, right? And we talk about that in the program often, which is, money is just easy to manifest, right? We don't need to overthink it. But most people that are probably on this video, watching this video, or thinking this through, going, "Yeah, that's crazy. It's not easy to manifest, right?" But once you get all of the clutter out of your brain, right, and away from your mind, it all becomes easy. So things that we've manifested, I've manifested, being in real estate, I've manifested new clients, right? I've manifested more money, loans that have come out, that just out of nowhere, literally out of nowhere, which is what I love. I think my recent manifestation is my car. I am fortunate enough to drive a beautiful new Porsche that wasn't on my radar, but in October of last year, it started to become on my radar. And then, we came together on it in March and April. You started really getting me tuned into it. And May 1st, we picked it up. It was the coolest thing. Still so much fun driving that car every day. So that's a beautiful thing. But what I would say is the intangible that we've created is very clear and honest communication.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And my wife and I have been together for 27 years. We have 2 teenage kids and a young one. And we're not afraid of having a very honest dialogue. We're not afraid of, what are they going to think? Are we going to end up in conflict? Right? We open up to each other wholeheartedly and just say, hey, listen, this is what this is something that we want to be able to achieve. Our goal is X. And, when we've all got a combined goal, the 5 of us have a very combined goal of where we want to be when it comes to homes, vacations, lifestyle, all that stuff. We're all part of the same vision. And that makes it easier because when we have that conversation, we all look at it and go, okay, this isn't moving in the right direction. Or yes, it's moving in the right direction. Or, hey, here's what we've learned from this situation. How do we stay on track, or how do we move towards our goal faster? One of the terms that you've given me, and I have it is ingrained in me, and I've ingrained it into my kids, which is best case scenario.
Yeah, love
Right?
that.
Best case scenario.
Yeah.
We have dealt with a couple of I would say probably moving moments in our lives, and especially with our kids, where I've seen their friends make some horrible choices, right?
Mm,
Things with drugs and alcohol, and even one of them ran away from home, right?
mhm.
And we've sat with our kids because we have that open dialogue and that conversation, and we're always like, my wife and I will always be, before we get into that conversation, is best case scenario for us, best case scenario for us. Our kids listen, and they're open with us and they're honest with us. That is huge,
Yes.
right? And that's been a big thing for us. And that has moved itself into my conversation with my clients,
Mhm.
right? Just, we're straight up just honest. Like, if there's something that just doesn't work, I just tell them, listen, it's not going to work, right?
Mhm.
And they'll straight up be honest with me and be like, hey, Tish, this isn't really working for us. We need help here. Great, right? And it creates a better bond. Like, it's the bond that we have with, not only just our kids and our family, but also with our clients. It's just a different level,
Yeah.
right? And it makes us stronger. Like, my referral rate is through the roof, right? There's at least, one client that will refer me 2 or 3 clients easily, at any given time. And I love that because I don't have to spend money on advertising. I'm just meeting people, sitting down, having coffee, and we try to help them achieve their real estate goals, right?
Yeah, wow, that's amazing. You share a lot, Atish. So not just the monetary, not just the material things, right? So everybody wants to manifest more money, bigger house, bigger car, of course. But
Yep.
on top of that, the things that's not tangible is your relationship, for instance, with your clients, your relationships with your family, with your kids, right? And this information you can actually pass on, and you can also teach them how to live this material, this teaching.
Yeah, absolutely. We do that. My kids, so both of them are in high school, and they were getting ready to, the one that's in grade 8 didn't have any final exams, so it wasn't a big deal. But my one that's in grade 10, final exams, and I was like, okay, best case scenario. What's our best case scenario, right? And he and I just do our little coaching session in the morning. It's 5 minutes, and we just kind of get into the zone. And then right before he sits to write the exam, right, I tell him, I'm like, the voice in your head is best case scenario. The words that come out in your mind are best case scenario, and just go right. And he's had some of his best scores. He's had some very tough decisions that he's had to make with some very close friends that were just not doing things that weren't in alignment with who he is as a person. But you're right, we are teaching these things. And I think about, if there was a parent handbook, right, this has to be a section that needs to be in there for us to be able to do, right, to be able to teach our kids to be better. Because now it's, generational, right? As they get older, they'll teach their kids. And we don't teach them and say to them, do. What we do is we teach them,
Yeah.
this is why, this is the outcome, this is what happened. And then there's always the best part of the conversation is after the fact. How'd
Mm.
it go? Was it what you had thought? Yeah, Dad, totally was exactly what I thought. Right. And then
Yeah.
we level up and we go, how could we have done better when the next time comes around? How do we level up?
Yeah.
Right. And that's a different conversation. I know that having the tools that we learned in the program, uh,
Yes.
I know they'll be able to do it, right? And their kids will be able to do it. So I,
Oh,
uh, I'm excited, super excited.
yeah, that's amazing. Oh my God. Like really, like what, a lot of people, they don't want to invest in themselves
Mm,
because they think it's just, oh, it's just me. Then, I want to take care of my family. I want to take care of my business. So I'm going to invest in other things. But what would you say to those people that are thinking about, investing in the mentorship, but, thinking about, oh, but the cost and this and that, like, what would you recommend them? Like, any piece of advice for them?
yeah. Okay. So here's my process now when we start dealing with tough decisions, right? And the decision, it's so funny because we think it's tough now, but it's really not tough, right? But we think it is, and it's because of one thing, right? What's in the bank account? The bank account's got a ton of money. You're like, yeah, okay, that's fine. It's $10,000, no big deal. Just write in the check. It's okay,
Right.
right? So here's what I would say is, and one of the ways that I do it now, which is I take a minute, close my eyes, 3 big breaths, right? And then the question is really, am I worth it? Right? And if the answer comes back like that and it's a yes, move forward. Move forward.
Wow.
Easy and simple. Don't overanalyze it, because here's what's going to happen. There will be so many different excuses. We've all got them because we've been trained with excuses, right? Through our lifetime. We've been trained with excuses. And so you'll have all the excuses in the world why not to do it. But if it feels right in here, then just make the decision. I went through a lot of rationalization as to why not to join the program. You and I had that conversation a few times, right? And but you always get, you always that one question, right, that you've always asked me, which was, are you happy with what you have right now? And I wasn't. I was stuck. I wasn't. I was working hard, right? I was doing busy work, right? But I just wasn't moving. I wasn't propelling. I just wasn't moving forward. And so if you've got that moment in your life right now where you're kind of looking at it going, I'm not moving forward and I feel stuck, take the program, get a mentor. I've been a sales leader for many decades, right? And so I always thought I could coach myself. You can't coach yourself.
No.
I mean, I think about the greats of the world, right?
Yeah.
They all have a coach, every single one, whether you're in sports, you're in business, whatever, you always have somebody, because you need somebody objective to talk to you, which is, I have Amy, right? There's been phone calls at 9 o'clock at night, 10 o'clock at night, where I've been like, I have this thought, Amy, give me some guidance here.
Yeah.
And that's what you need, because you can't do it all in your head, right? You need to get it out.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that's why get yourself a mentor, right?
Yeah.
You have nothing to lose, but everything to gain. As Bob says, you know what you lose, but you don't know what you're going to gain.
Yep. Yep.
Right? So that's really the biggest thing, is you don't know what you're going to gain, but trust me, it will be worth it. We've, for how much we've invested, how much I've invested into the program, I'm probably 15-fold back at least.
Yeah.
So,
I
not,
mean,
not bad ROI.
exactly. But the best thing is that the best investment is investing in yourself.
Right.
Right. And that, again, a lot of times it's so hard to put monetary measure on there, because it's not only influencing you, you're influencing your family, your clients, people around you, right? That are closest to you. It's everybody. It's like a ripple effect.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really funny, because the one analogy that I always remember is when you're on a plane, right? And the emergency mask, the oxygen mask drops, and the instruction is put the mask on yourself before you put it on anybody else. And that's before even your children, right? The instructions from the people that, do the plane stuff, they're like, put it on you, then you can help others. Because if you don't have oxygen, you can't give anybody else oxygen.
Right.
This is the exact same thing, right?
Yeah.
Give yourself the oxygen and you'll teach everybody else, right?
Yeah.
And off you go from there. You can't go wrong.
I love that. I love what you said. Ask yourself, am I worthy of this?
Yeah.
Right. It's not about, of course, it's about achieving your goals, yes, but it's really about investing in yourself. I think that's the most important thing, is to focus on you, because you are the most important person in your business, in your family, and everything in your life, right? Yeah.
I'm the one in control, right? And it's easy to go through life saying, I have no control. I don't know what to do next.
Yeah.
Or life is doing this to me.
Yes. Or other people can, I can't, right? That's one of the biggest things.
Biggest cop out in the world, right? I'm just an average guy, right? You're just an average girl, and we are just people that understood the skills that are available to us.
Yes.
And the minute we understood them, we went from not being average, we went to being extraordinary.
Yes.
Right. And the people around me look at me and go, that guy? I'm like, yeah, this guy. 2 years ago, they'd be like, that guy, right?
Yeah.
I've had friends reach out, after, this last year with all of the success and everything else that you've shared. And they're like, wow, you've changed so much.
Mm-hmm.
And I look at them and I go, no, not by a long shot. I've just understood what's happening around me,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So that's all.
Yeah, it's beautiful. Like, so that's another thing about having a mentor is actually shrinks time of achievement, right? If you look back in that 1 year, Atish, like how many things have changed, and then how about you, like your own transformation, right?
Yeah, so much, right? So if I think about the biggest thing that's changed in me, right, which was the thing that I've always struggled with, is self-worth, right?
Yeah,
Everybody struggles with this because you don't know
yeah,
what you're really worth,
yes.
right? And where that really started for me was understanding where I struggled in my confidence.
Mm,
When my confidence got better, my worth got better, right? And as my worth got better, my output, my image, my feel, my vibe, my charisma, all naturally just accelerated,
yes.
right?
Yep.
And it's what I wanted, right? Because I mean, whether you understand this or not, for everybody's watching the video, you know, there's something that's happened in your life or is happening in your life right now that brought you to this moment where you're watching this video. It was the same thing for me,
Yes.
right? I've met many coaches, and I've been semi-committal, right? But you and I just had a great connection, and I went, okay, I'm ready, and my time was right.
Yes.
My time was right. I was like, okay, this is the time. This is what I want to be able to do. I'm tired of hearing the message over and over again and not answering the call.
Mm,
The call was, here, take this step forward and watch your life get better.
yes.
Right? I'm excited to do this video with you in a year from now,
Ye-
right? On
Yeah.
what it's gonna look like.
Seriously, I'm excited too. That's why I wanted to document this, because it's just, things have happened just so crazy that like sometimes we're so, it's great to focus on the goal, but sometimes we need to take a moment and actually slow down and reflect how far you've come,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, it's unbelievable, right? And if I think about the time that you and I had that conversation, if I hadn't just and for everybody who's listening, you're probably going to go, oh my God, I can't believe that I'm going to do this. There's going to be that fear, and your heart's going to jump, and your brain's going to freak out. And that's okay. It's okay, right? Just ask yourself the question, am I worthy?
Mm.
And if the answer is yes, move forward. Easy. I know it sounds really silly, but it's the easiest thing because you know that you'll commit to doing something great, right?
And you're worthy of it.
I do. No
Yeah.
question in my mind.
I love it. So with that, I do want to just say thank you, Atish. I'm very excited for you to see where you're going to create from this moment on, and
Yes.
can't wait. Just the things that you're going to create.
Yeah, I'm excited too. And I wanted to just share one last little tidbit, which was if you go out there and you just kind of Google or try to get your head wrapped around self-help and what that really looks like, right? Uh, 99% of the people in the world don't do anything with their lives. Literally, they don't, right? Because they're like, life is happening to me. It's not happening for me. It's happening to me. Or, this person is better than I am. All of those excuses, 99%. If you want to be the 1%, get yourself a mentor.
Mm.
That's it. I know it sounds really simple because it should be. Don't overthink it.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that, for your piece of advice for our audience.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank you again, Atish. I'm excited for you for what's to come.
Love to see you guys in the program.
Yeah, thank you. Bye. Bye, guys.
Bye.